Maluach will chip it off against Yigatolu. I wouldn't recommend you saying that 5 times very quickly. And Duke controls the tip. That's the guy you were just talking about, Knueppel out of Wisconsin. This is a young team, 6 freshmen. They have 4 grad students, only 2 seniors and only 2 juniors, and just 1 sophomore. Everybody else in their first year at Duke. Flagg lost his footing, was tripped.
Good recognition by Knueppel. That last time, a little pick and roll action. SMU opted to try to flare out on that. You get Cooper Flagg diving to the basket. You're going to have to try to take some things away from Duke. You got to make sure that you limit their first and second options, make them play into the shot clock and get some stops.
I mean, Flagg has been as advertised. There's no debate about it. He leads the team in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks. He's only the 6th player all time at Duke in their first 13 games to have 200 or more points, 100 or more rebounds.
And what you're going to see during this game is that they're going to give him a lot of different options. They're going to put him in the post. They're going to have him drift out by the line, give him some one-on-one opportunities as well.
So Flagg drops them both, full court pressure for Duke. And Boopie Miller is a guy that can handle the pressure. Remember now, last year at Wake Forest, Boopie Miller led the Demon Deacons to a win over Duke. That's when all the fans stormed the court. Remember all that? Shot clock at 10. Cross from downtown. Bingo. He's a good player.
And he's a guy that's got, we talk about having some dog in you. He will not shy away from contact, can give you in and out. And for SMU, you have to be able to execute your offense to be able to have a shot today.
Cross averages 11 points and 8 rebounds. Former All-Atlantic 10 player at UMass. But he is a good player. Proctor to the rack and lays it in.
And that's one of the things that Proctor does a wonderful job of being able to probe that lane. Maluach came up and gave him an opportunity to get right to the rim. This Duke team, long, average height of 6'6".
Sion James is defending the point. How about the body on that guy? Boopie Miller probably a little quicker. Here's Cross again. Too strong. And the rebound for Duke, racing the other way. What a move by Proctor. Finds the open man, Knueppel, bang from the corner.
And Tom, we talk about how good Duke is defensively. They want to get out and pace as well. Any chance they get, they're going to spread you out, touch the paint. You said last time, being able to get the ball over to Knueppel to knock down that corner 3.
Two minutes have gone by. Cross in the lane, kicks it back out to Miller with 10 on the shot clock. Defended by James. Now they switch. And Boopie Miller trying to go right by Knueppel, but he's long and is able to block it.
Again, we talk about this Duke team. When they get out in transition, do a good job. Watch Proctor be able to get in there, force the help. Knueppel is able to get his shot. Again, that's a good side for him, for a guy that's been trying to get his 3 to fall. Again, they're going to hit the paint and put a lot of pressure on SMU's defense.
Tried to bounce it into Cross, and it looked like Proctor knocked it away. So 3.4 on the shot clock. Well, what a player Carrawell was. He earned his stripes. He's 47 years young, out of St. Louis, Missouri. He's one of 2 players, along with Nate James, to win an Atlantic Coast Conference regular season championship each of his 4 years at Duke.
And this is a guy that when he played was fearless. Could give you a little bit of everything, was hard-nosed, a defensive guy. Great opportunity for him, again, to be able to have the opportunity to coach at Duke and have this one today.
They better put it up. Shot clock at 1. I'm not sure that Traore, who is a junior transfer from UC Santa Barbara, realized the time on the shot clock. Knueppel again from 3. Not there. He's a 34% shooter from 3-point range. And traveling violation after getting the rebound on Johan Traore.
You'll see them run Knueppel off a lot of staggers. And then again, you have to, you said last play by Traore, out of bounds, you have to be able to close out those possessions.
And in the corner. It's Proctor. He has 5 early on.
And Proctor along with Knueppel. And we'll see Isaiah Evans. Those are the main snipers for Duke. You cannot give those guys opportunities to get uncontested threes.
Duke on a 7-0 run. Cross thought about it, goes to the rack. And he'll go to the line. That'll be a foul against Malawach, a 7'2" freshman. Grew up in the South Sudan in Africa, part of the NBA Academy in Africa. You played overseas. NBA's everywhere overseas.
Everywhere. And then going back to the play with Matt Cross, we saw him knock down that 3. And he's a guy that's hard-nosed, that will put his head down and will get to the rim. They're going to need that today.
Last 3 games for Cross. He was injured the very first play, the very first game of the year. Dislocated his tailbone. Andy Enfield had never heard of that injury. And so he missed 3 weeks. He's just getting his feet underneath him now, and he's been one of their best players.
You saw the last 3 games averaging over 18 points a game. They're going to need him. You see penetration to kick out over to Proctor again and knock down that 3.
Boy, has he been hot in this one. 8 points already in a 13-4 Blue Devils lead. Oh boy, little ankle breaker there, but you got to finish that, right? Swatted away. 15 on the shot clock. Boy, he is a presence in there, isn't he? These 2 big guys are freshmen. They're going to be around for a long time in some good battles.
And you see Yigatulu come up with that, and then Malawach is like, no soup for you today, my friend. Get that up out of here. And again, you understand for SMU, you're going to have to execute your offense because, again, we're talking about one of the best half-court defensive teams in the country. Duke does a good job with their length and being able to limit what they want in the first and second options.
Over in the corner, and a 3, too strong, but Edwards able to get the rebound. And he'll dribble out of the corner. Great pass underneath and swatted away again.
A good pass by Edwards, getting that offensive rebound. You see Traore get there. Malawach is one of those guys that anywhere around the rim, he's not going to drift too far away from the rim. You got to be able to get that ball up there quick.
I think they got Knueppel with the foul. They did. He reached in on the arm and got a piece of Traore, who was a 69% free throw shooter.
SMU seems a little sped up. Again, a game of this magnitude here, sometimes the adrenaline can be flowing. You got to calm yourself. Make sure you allow this game to come to you. You've got to be able to get some stops. And you cannot allow Duke to be able to get whatever. First half so far, Duke has been able to get whatever they want, touching the paint. You see right now, SMU extending their defense to try to slow them down a little bit.
Well, Carrawell looks like a guy who hadn't put on a single pound since he walked out of Duke.
He looks like he can give you about 15 minutes to probably get you 10 to 12 points.
Here's Flagg, little fadeaway, and nothing but net. He has 4.
SMU that last time showing a little bit of a zone. Best way to beat a zone is to have a guy right there in the middle. Duke had Flagg hovering right there in the middle for that mid-range shot.
Edwards to the bucket, and that's goaltending. It went in anyway. So B.J. Edwards, who averages 10 a game, gets his first basket. So 15-7. Tyrese Proctor, the native of Sydney, Australia, from downtown.
Yeah, we talked about this team and the fact that he's a guy that at 6'6" that can get to the basket. And oh yeah, by the way, he shoots about 40% from behind the arc. Duke has done a great job in this first half of being able to space out SMU. Proctor has come out and has been lighted on fire. A perfect 3-for-3 field goals and perfect from behind the arc.
Isaiah Evans, along with Malik Brown, check into the game. Brown considered to be the very best defender in the ACC. Here's Flagg to the rack, and he got fouled. That'll be against Traore.
And if you're Traore, you cannot allow Cooper Flagg to be able to get momentum to get to the bucket. We talk about how well he scores. That last time you see the gamble, and then Traore a little late over there on the help.
Flagg just turned 18 years old 3 weeks ago. So very young coming out of high school. You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. Flagg hit them both. 4 of 4 from the stripe. He had 6 in the game.
Duke has already extended their lead to 10 for SMU. You got to be able to get into your sets. Working, get to your second and third options. You know Duke is, they're long, they're lengthy. They're going to chase you off the three, but you got to move that ball to continue to shift them and touch the paint.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see Cario Oquendo in here sometime soon. He's instant offense off that bench. And right now, SMU needs offense. Ross just got into the air, nobody throw it to. Proctor again. Yigitolu with the rebound, and here come the Mustangs. Boy, this defense is so good, and they're so big, long, and athletic. Here's Miller, and he needed that. His team needed that.
And that's the guy they need to get going because he's ahead of the snake of that offense. You talked about the fact not so easy to touch the paint. That last time, Boopie Miller saw that he had Cooper Flagg, got a little extension and drained that three.
Miller, a couple of years at Central Michigan, 1 season, had a great season last year at Wake, and now in his first year at SMU is their leading scorer. Flagg, and it's an illegal screen.
And you saw James pin the pin down, call for that moving on that screen. Traore trying to be physical with Flagg because, again, you don't want to allow him to get to the ball where he wants it. Watch the pin down by James. Traore trying to fight through it. And again, if you're SMU, you have to force Duke out of their sets. This is a ball club that's going to get their sets. They're going to make sure they do a lot of pin down action, touch the paint. Hopefully now they can get on a little bit of a run. That last time you saw Boopie Miller knock down a shot. You got to continue to move that ball and try to touch that paint. Easier said than done.
Well, as we suspected, we do indeed see Cario Oquendo. He wears number 8. I mean, this guy can fill it up. There's a big man with a stick back.
And that's huge. That last time you saw Yigitolu realized he had a smaller Gillis there, was able to hit the glass for that putback.
SMU 5 offensive rebounds. That's a strength for both of these teams. Very dominant rebounding team. Off the mark by Evans, who's been so red hot from 3. And now they're going to go down low. I like this matchup for SMU here. This guy is good around the basket. Has it stripped away, got it back, and he'll go to the line.
And that's
a talented player. And
that's a matchup that they can win, Tom, because Yigitolu is very good and solid down low. You got a smaller Brown guarding him. They need to give him touches and put pressure on that Duke defense.
Malik Brown whistled for the foul. We talk about what a great defender he is. But he's given away some height there to Yigitolu, 7'2". Nope. Next week, CW Courtside Saturday rolls on to double dip once more. Syracuse going to BC. And Brian, you and I will be down in Miami. Wake Forest starting to play really well. CW Courtside Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Only on the CW. You got a full slate this week, NBA and college hoops. Missed them both. Boy, they give you a chance. You can't do that. Five-point game, 13 minutes closing in to play here in the first half. Bumped, and going to the line will be Isaiah Evans, a freshman out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. He is coming on strong. Carrawell told us yesterday, ever since that game he came in against Auburn, when he hit 6 3-pointers in the first half. He is the second best 3-point shooter in the country.
And you got to pick Isaiah Evans up when he gets off the bus. This is a guy that basically shoots 52% from behind the arc, 19 for 32 in his last 6 games.
And naturally misses a free throw, right?
And the scouting report tells you that 93% of his points are coming from behind the arc. So I think that guy prefers to shoot it from the 3-point line.
Duke has not scored in 2 minutes and 21 ticks. (18-12). Duke in front. Cross lays it in, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And Tom, that's what we talked about with Matt Cross. He's going to be able to be physical. You've got to look at it and see what matchups you can win. That last time, he's got some pounds on Evans. That last time, he rips, put the ball down, and it's a race between him and Malawach to get to the cup. Absorbs that contact, gives him opportunity to go to the line and get a three the old-fashioned way.
And they're right back in this game now.
And it's been the level of aggression. They've gotten some stops, and then now they've been able to get some things and some matchups to work in their favor.
That is a 5th miss from the free throw line in this game by SMU.
And here's the thing, if you want to knock off a top 5 team, you cannot give points away.
And normally SMU a very good free throw shooting team, 75% on the year. The extra pass into the corner, and no good. Still only 1 point of free throw in the last 3 minutes for the Dukies. Miller behind the back, and got it.
And that's where SMU is going to thrive. You get the stop, you see Boopie Miller pushing the pace, was able to get a little redirection and knock down that shot. Now you got this crowd involved in the game.
Knueppel, too strong, and now SMU with a chance to tie or even take the lead. Oh, they thought about going up top to Colbert there. And in the corner, that's Oquendo. Cross a rebound, and he's fouled. This Cross is a gamer, man.
He is, and we've got a game on our hand. You see Boopie Miller right there with a little bit of a crossover and say, you know what, take that for you. We're feeling it. SMU within 2. Tennis player as well. Again, SMU has been able to get back in this game. They've mixed up their defense a little bit and been more aggressive, being able to touch the paint. Yet you see that turnover by Boopie Miller.
Great anticipation there by Flagg. And Harris bumps Flagg. 14th foul against the Mustangs. See, Duke has not made a field goal in over 4 minutes. And started out red hot.
And Tom, what you've seen is that SMU has mixed up their coverages from man to zone. They're flaring out, being a little bit more physical, a little bit more help. That last time you see Cooper Flagg, that's one of the things we talked about him in the open. A 3-level type of scorer. He gets a lot of attention by being athletic, but that's a nice pull-up for just with a controllable jumper.
8 of Duke's 20 belong to Flagg. Mason Gillis, number 18, is checked in for the Blue Devils. He spent the last 4 years at Purdue. Well, he played in some big games there. Was the Big Ten 6th Man of the Year. Boopie a head fake, lost a handle, dumps it off in the corner, and batted away by Flagg. In and out. Duke ball. Crowd didn't like it.
Watch the skill set in this last play by Cooper Flagg. Comes off that, and the defender pumps it. He gets him a nice little pump fake, 2 dribble, rises up, and great control. Again, you talk about a lot of things that goes with it, but he's an all-around player. Love his skill set, and he allows the game to come to him. Rare are you going to see him force the issue and get out of the team concept.
Off the screen, Flagg may have been bumped, no call, and Proctor with a rebound. Here's James. And there's Flagg wide open. Man, is that a stroke.
And the thing is that James set that up. Obviously, the offensive rebound gives you another possession. James does a good job of being able to force the defense converge. Flagg is going to hunt that shot, knocks down that second with 2 for $1.
That is 11 now for Cooper Flagg. He averages 17. But he's had his best games in the big games. Here's Oquendo, got to put it up, and he does, and lays it in.
A nice move by Oquendo. Look at that last time Boopie Miller got down. I thought he had a layup, but you got to your third option, put the ball on the floor, and then not having Malawak on the floor gives you an opportunity to get to the cup.
Flagg had fake and rejected. That was Jarrell Colbert, transferred from Kansas State. And after that block, he'll go to the bench.
Cooper did a good job of being able to stay right in the jersey of Cooper Flagg. Watch him being able to stay there. Doesn't bite on the first pump fake. Flagg comes up, goes vertical, times it perfectly.
$20 on the shot clock. And Duke with the basketball, closing it on 9 minutes to go. Beautiful cut to the basket, and Flagg follows, slamming it down.
And penetration by James. Cooper Flagg, you got to put a body on him because anything around the rim, you're most likely going to be part of a poster.
You were never posterized, were you?
No, but I created some. I've got some down hanging in there.
Yes, you do. Oh, and one. The bump by Proctor, and that will send Keon Ambrose Hilton, who's just checked into the game, to the line.
Again, watch this last play. You see the backdoor cut. And no one puts a body on Cooper Flagg. He comes in. He said, Yiga Tulu, you know what? I'll sign this for you afterwards. But watch the Yiga Tulu basically is there and then finished it. But then again, on the other end, SMU's done a good job of being able to break down. You see the back down cut. Ambrose Hilton able to go for the line. Here to make this a three-point play.
That's on Cooper Flagg, the foul, his first of the game. Very quiet from the line. Really struggling are the Mustangs from the stripe. 2 of 7. And still struggling. Flagg pulls up. And that was knocked out of bounds by the Mustangs.
A missed opportunity by Duke there. You get a Cooper Flagg wide open jump shot. If you're SMU, you can't allow him to be able to roam free like that. That little stagger action has got to be better communication between the bigs.
Flagg is averaging over 31 minutes a game. Duke right now, where they're playing 9 guys. We'll see if that changes as the year goes on. Be hard to believe it would. And a follow underneath. Malawak will go to the free throw line.
That's where the length of the Malawak is basically around the rim. You see a lot of times penetration, especially that last time by Proctor. He's right there for the tip in.
Malawak, pretty good free throw shooter. 24 of 30. He's got a nice touch on the ball. Nice release for a big guy. Just watching him shoot before the game. And too strong there. Caleb Foster comes into the game. This Tuesday, celebrate New Year's Evil with NXT. Catch your first NXT of the year from LA. Tuesday, January 7th, 8 Eastern, 7 Central here on the CW.
Did you just hit Malawak with the announcer's jinx?
I did. I did. And I got it twice. I'll never do it again. I'm sorry, Coach Shire. Cross back in for the Mustangs. And here's Okendo pitching it to Miller. Pretty nifty move there, but a little short. Foster. Yes, sir, Caleb Foster.
And good ball movement, good cross-court pass by James to get Foster wide open. That's what, again, the Duke Blue Devils do a good job of being able to get in transition and take advantage of breaking you down and see when they can.
Foster, a guy still finding his way. He was a starter once the team got going last year, and then he had the terrible injury against Wake Forest. He started the year in the lineup and now coming off the bench. Cooper Flagg flying high in this one. An 8-point Duke lead. You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor. School team is Darren Harris, who you see there next to him on that graphic. It's not a bad class.
Hey, when you look at, man, number one recruiting class, 3 5-stars, 3 4-stars. The amount of talent that John Shire has been able to recruit and bring in this program, he is definitely putting Duke in a position every year where they're able to compete and contend for a national championship.
Yeah, they've had 2 #1 recruiting classes and a #2 recruiting class. But look, Andy Enfield will tell you, hey, right now we have the 6th best recruiting class coming into SMU next year, and they have a pile of would-be prospects coming into the game. That's double dribble.
Yeah, a little hesitation by Igatulu, and that last time, I'd like to see him just go. You know, you make the contact and then go. He's a guy that can score around the bucket, put a lot of pressure on Malawach, because you know he's going to try to block everything that you throw up there.
7:11 to go here in the opening half, and Duke an 8-point lead. Flagg goes right by Igatulu and missed the layup.
We've seen SMU be able to have some success when they can continue to move the ball around and touch the paint. Duke does a good job of being able to limit you and keep you outside that 3-point line. Interested to see if they can try to get some type of misdirection and then hit the paint.
Boopie, Miller, and the alley-oop, and tried to do it with one hand, and then losing the handle, and Duke with the basketball.
One of those situations, Igatulu, I'd love to see him catch that ball with 2 hands. Better control.
And at the other end, a beautiful pass by Proctor leads to the lay-in. First bucket by Malawach. And now a 10-point lead again. SMU had gotten to within 2, and now it's back up to 10. Just can't finish. That was a good look. They've got 5-on-4 numbers here. Somebody's open, and they waited too long to get off a good shot. Fade away. How about that from Traore?
And good face-up by Traore. Was able to get a little bit of separation. Realized that Malawach was just coming back, and I love that face-up and knocking down that little shot.
Traore had 20 points on 7 of 10 field goals and 11 rebounds against Longwood, their most recent game, by far his best game this year. Evans spots up and missed it. Rare misses for Evans from out there.
Good job by Cross chasing him off that 3-point line.
Well, a little talking going on there now. Looked like Tyrese, Proctor, and Chuck Harris exchanging some words.
That little chippiness. We talked about this is a high-profile game for both teams. Coming to this game, 7 in a row by each team. Both teams undefeated in the ACC.
Evans will leave. Gillis comes back in, and now Brown will replace Malawach.
Tom,
Flagg to the bench for the first
every time Malawach comes out, you see that SMU is able to get more things at the rim because Brown is a good defender, but he's not the shot and rim protector that Malawach is.
Malik Brown getting his second foul.
And on cue, Malawach comes right back into the game.
They got to get Brown to the bench with 2 fouls. Stay tuned for today's halftime show presented by Subaru Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Over into both.
You see Cooper knock down those free throws. If you're SMU, you knock down a few more free throws. We're talking about this game is a lot closer than what it is now.
That is 3 out of 9 from the strike. Beautiful, strong finish by Caleb Foster. He has 5 off the bench.
And great hesitation coming off that pick and roll to freeze the defender. Athletic and being able to finish beyond that contact. Watch Foster gun around, and he realizes a lot of times when you go against shot blockers, he goes right into the body of Cooper to be able to absorb the contact with acrobatic finish. Foster, again, we talked about him again, that the guy that's finding his rhythm has been coming on better as of late.
Boopie Miller. Leading scorer for the Mustangs. And he gets a gentle roll. He's an excellent free throw shooter, 83%. He has 6 points in the game. He started off red hot, then slowed down a little, had a couple of rough games, but now the last 2 games has bounced back nicely. Of course, I don't know if you and Anderson and Dennis Scott ever had off nights.
We had a few. Like I said, I was the beneficiary of a great point guard, and then also having a guy that can shoot the lights out of it. You see SMU turning up the tempo and aggressiveness on their defense.
Foster, good move to the basket, missed the layup. All right, trying to get a little closer, TCU. We're closing in on 4:20 to go in the half. Colbert, little fadeaway. That's an NBA move there.
Nah, it was. Great penetration by Traore, realizing he was able to get the ball into Malawach. Fadeaway. SMU on a little bit of a run. People here at Moody Coliseum letting their team hear it.
Yeah, first time we've heard much from this crowd so far today. And a three-pointer, a big one by Gillis.
Man, good penetration by James. Realize he's got Gillis wide open. Gillis is able to set his feet and knock it down and quiet this crowd.
Miller for 3. Nope. And Duke with a rebound, and quickly the other way comes Proctor. Duke maintaining this lead with Flagg on the bench, although he's getting set to check back in, and there's another nice move there by Gillis in a timeout. Gillis, a Big Ten Freshman of the Year at Purdue, and they had some good teams at Purdue.
And they do, and so no Cooper Flagg, no problem. Gillis says, you know what? A little curl action to get here and extend this lead up to 9. financial security for nearly 160 years. And earlier on in the game, it started out with Tyrese Proctor getting Duke out the gate, 8 points, 3 for 6. But then Boopie Miller was able to get into the show already 7 points today, averaging around 15 points. But we've talked about Cooper Flagg, highlight reel, making his point, coming out with 13 points, a fish with 5 rebounds. And you've seen, Tom, both teams going back and forth. It seems like Duke is able to try to fight and then extend this lead. SMU still finds a way to be able to keep it close.
All right, so 3:16 to go until halftime, and we'll see if SMU has one more run in them to try and get it a little closer before the intermission. Full court pressure by the Blue Devils. And they'll just drop back. You know, I think it's really tough on television to try to see how big this Duke team is. I mentioned earlier, their average height is 6'7". And they're just so long in guarding, and guys can guard multiple players.
And what you do is that for teams like SMU, you keep them delegated outside because they can't really break the paint because they do such a good with their length and they keep you outside. Where SMU's had some success is shifting them and being able to get to the paint and then finish at the rim.
We've seen 2 of those where a player, Yigitolu and now Colbert, try to catch it one-handed.
But here's the thing, though, is that when you get that lob, even as a big, you know you're going to have contact. You got to go and secure that ball with both hands. You've seen both chances. You've seen Colbert that last time, Yigitolu trying to be fancy with it. You go get that thing with the bounce that you have, and you flush it and be able to capitalize. That's 4 points that you basically have left on the table.
Colbert will leave in favor of Yigitolu. Each team riding the wave of 7-game winning streaks. Now, Duke's schedule has been much tougher. There's no debate about that. There are very few teams that can say they have the schedule that Duke has so far this year. In the corner, and it's not there. And the rebound to Yigitolu. And the Mustangs with 2 to go, down by 9. Harris for 3. Oquendo the rebound, and a fresh shot clock. What a pass. Yigitolu able to finish.
And good gather by Yigitolu. That penetration that last time by Miller was able to get the ball over to him. And easier said than done. The times that they've been able to break the paint, SMU's been able to come up with some good things.
(37-30), 1:30 to go. Flagg the alley-oop and a beautiful pass, catch and lay in.
And one of the things we don't talk enough about is the playmaking skills of Cooper Flagg. Good pass over to Malawat, should be able to get it right at the rim.
Yigitolu backing in. Head fake, spin move, can't finish, tried the left hand, got it back again, and a stick back.
And good second effort by Yigitolu. Was able to throw the ball up there, had Malawat out of position. Is that offensive glass and be able to finish it.
Under a minute to go. Flagg pitches it in the corner. He'll get it back. And he'll draw contact going to the basket and head to the free throw line.
How many times have we seen Cooper Flagg able to get to the basket? He understands that the defenders are coming, but he goes with reckless abandon. Does not shy away from contact.
You know, we showed you a moment ago, Flagg finished up high school down in Florida, but he is a kid from Maine. Newport, Maine. And according to everybody that spends time around him, he's unbelievably humble, just doesn't get a big head, really good teammate. If you're looking for a cable news network that respects all Americans, and you have a new home of News Nation, America's most trusted cable network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com.
Tom, I think one of the things to go about Flagg that you've heard, especially with NBA scouts, is that this guy's got a tremendous motor. He's always in the gym. He plays hard. He's a good teammate. And you've seen even in today's game, he allows the game to come to him. He does not try to take it all by himself. And as Duke has been able to extend their lead to 9, he has been basically solid and has given them what they needed.
Flagg with 15 points in the game to go along with 5 rebounds. That's a tough shot for Miller. And again, there's that length. I mean, he's defended by a guy that's 5 inches taller than he is.
And here's the thing is you've got athletic guys that are longer that can get, he can't get by, and it's forced him to have to shoot a difficult shot.
Clock down to 10. Final possession of the half. Miller working on James. Fires to Cross for 3. Not there. Tipped up. And we have reached halftime. The number 4 Duke Blue Devils have come in to play. Man, you were some kind of player.
I wasn't half bad.
I mean, you were some kind of player. That was a fun team to watch. Lethal Weapon 3 was a nickname for those Georgia Tech teams. Here's Cross, he'll jump hook, and that's a nice shot and a good way to get it started.
And Tom, I think SMU's got to get more out of Matt Cross. We saw earlier in the first half where he's able to basically exploit some of those mismatches. You see him getting down over Knueppel and get the shot that he wanted in the paint.
There is Knueppel. He had 7 assists in the first half. That's a strong move.
Nice move. And again, Knueppel, you wouldn't know it unless you see him. 6'7", was able to navigate the paint. Little pump fake action to finish right there at the cup.
Largest deficit at halftime this year for the Mustangs is 6. And right now down 9, a minute into the second half.
Watch this move by Knueppel. He gets down there, realizes Yigatulu is there, pump fakes, and then is able to go ahead and use his body and throws that shot up in there. Love his game because he's a guy that can get it done inside and out as well.
Knueppel, I mean, you don't even have to read where he's from, and you can figure out he's a Wisconsin guy.
Oh, yeah, he's a tough guy.
No doubt about it.
Hard nose.
Yeah. Talks. Loves talking a lot. Upbeat. Tough shot there, and Duke the rebound. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Tough. And then he flexed on him a little bit. And that's again, when you look at his height and how he handles like a guard, was able to finish with the other hand around the rim. That's just too good.
17 now for Cooper Flagg. He averages 17. Yigatolu in traffic, had it blocked. And Duke comes away with a loose ball, an 11-point lead.
Again, we talk about Cooper Flagg and his ability to score. Watch the little crossover. He gets the big man, comes through there, and is able to absorb that contact and finish with a left. And he flexed on him a little bit. Was like, yeah, I've been in the weight room before I got here, Tom. I'm going to let you know, Brenneman.
Everybody looks like they're in the weight room standing next to me. Are you kidding me? Here's Knueppel again, goes up and draws a foul. Or is it offensive?
Well, he shuffled the feet a little bit.
Did. All right.
That last time again, Yigatulu, he will force at 7 foot. He'll force you to have to gather yourself. That last time, Knueppel was able to get there, shuffled it, did a little Texas two-step.
again, we understand we're having some technical difficulties here at SMU, and we beg your pardon. It is 17:05 to go in the game, and a 13-point Duke lead. Oquendo pitches it in the corner, and a shot is blocked. And then they dump it off to Colbert, who's fouled by Malawach. And Colbert will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Malawach, man, he takes up some real estate down there. He said Edwards that last time, we're able to keep his wits about him, gets it over to Colbert. SMU's got to find some way to cut back into this lead.
In and out for Colbert. He made his only 2 free throws in the game before that one.
And that's been a semi-story for SMU. They're leaving a lot of points on the table. Again, we talk about how they have not been able to capitalize. They're getting the fouls, but you got to be able to knock down those free throws.
Second one goes down. And a 12-point Duke lead. James, left hand. That's a strong move by a strong man.
I mean, he's built like a linebacker. He's able to basically get downhill. I don't even know if the contact even bothered him as he was able to just finish.
Duke could have used him in their bowl game the other night against Ole Miss. Colbert again working on middle of the lane with the right hand, too strong, and then Flagg the other way, hounded by Edwards, spins out of trouble. And he's going to go to the rack, dribbled it off his foot. And here's Flagg for 3. Wow, what a game he's having, and he felt like he was fouled.
That's a guy again, and ball, you see, SMU calls a timeout. Duke expanding that lead to 17, and we've talked about in the second half, it's been a lot of Cooper Flagg.
24 points for Flagg.
And again, you see Cooper Flagg knock down the three-point play. It was like, ref, I know you saw it, but we extended it up to 17.
Well, John Shire, the heavyweight fight. Texas against the mighty Buckeyes from Ohio State.
Dare I ask who you're
well, I can't say that too loudly here in Texas. Will fade away by Cross. And Yigatulo will go to the line. And there'll be another timeout. That's the under-16 timeout. So the big fella from Turkey going to the line when we come back. Started the second half the way they did the first half, scoring 6 of their first 7 possessions.
You see Derek Lively in the house. Duke alum, playing currently with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yigatulo going to the free throw line. 0 for 2 in the game, now 1 of 3. He has 9 in the game.
Tom, for SMU, they need to find a way to be able to get some stops. You've seen as of late, it's been a lot of Cooper Flagg, and then they've got to find a way, as you see, Yigatulo missed that one. You got to get back into this game because you're in a dangerous position right now where Duke, if they continue to get going, they can expand this thing out and blow it out.
Miller is called for a foul there. Was pushing off with his left hand as he tried to take the ball away from Proctor. He didn't like the call.
Yeah, a lot of scrappiness by Boopie Miller right there. Got his hand on the ball, grabbed a little wrist. Watch again. Get up on Proctor. And right about there. Got a little hand on it, but right there got that hand on the right wrist. But you got to find some way if you're SMU to be able to get some stops.
In the corner. Bang!
Great recognition by Brown, realizing he was swarmed. You get it out to Knueppel, wide open, and be able to knock down that three.
That's the one thing about this Duke team. They feel like, as well as they played 11-2, tough schedule as Miller kisses it off the glass, that one area where they believe they will get better is their three-point shooting.
Well, and again, you've seen with a lot of guys like Knueppel, he shoots it well, but he still is not the guy that they're expecting. He knows a matter of time he's going to do. You got a guy like Proctor. You see another turnover opportunity for Miller to be able to finish. And this is what SMU needs. You got to be able to get some easy buckets and then whittle this lead down.
15-point lead. 14:30 to go in Dallas. Sellout crowd. And not much to cheer about so far. It's been the Cooper Flagg show. And he's looking for more, and that's blocked, and then he dribbled off his foot.
Good defense by Yigatulu that last time. Being able to stay in front of Flagg. And again, one of the ways you're going to get back in this game is be able to come up with some steals. And how about Boopie Miller coming in with pickpocket? They ain't able to get an easy one on the other end.
Couple of substitutions on their way in for the Blue Devils. Gillis to come back along with Caleb Foster. And a three, and here you go.
And great opportunity. Aquendo saw that Cooper Flagg has slipped, leaving Matt Cross wide open. You get it back over. Now you get this thing cut down to 12. Even SMU need a stop.
11 now for Matt Cross, a senior out of Beverly, Massachusetts. Lead is 12. James right back into the corner. And no good, but a long rebound to Flagg. And here's James. He's not going to take that shot, but he'll make a nice pass to Brown.
And here's where you have to know the scouting report. You run right out at James, and even though he can't shoot, he prefers to put the ball on the floor. You got to have some defensive discipline. That last time he gets over to Brown right at the easy bucket score.
Nearly a takeaway by Duke. Brown, who leads the country in deflection so far this year, deflected that ball. And Flagg with a rebound for the Devils, under 13 in the corner, and no good. Coach Young at Virginia Tech made the comment after the Duke win over the Hokies 88-65 early in the week. He said this is the best Duke defensive team that he has seen in the last 7 years.
Because they wall up the paint. Did you see that last play? Malik Brown come over. There's a little bit of a mix-up there. Matt Cross had the position there where he was able to get the ball. But back to Duke, one of the things that makes them so good is that they will lock down the paint, and with their length, they make it hard for you to be able to break the paint.
Duke starting the way it started in the opening half.
Important possession for SMU right here. Still like the fact that you give Matt Cross a touch. He's shown that he's be able to create some things with getting to the bucket.
Fade away after cooking to dribble up in the lane by Harris, and Duke the rebound.
That's where the length of Malawash is a problem. You saw Harris get down there, and he tried to alter that shot. Not a clean look.
Knueppel once more for three.
Bam.
And bingo.
And you saw Aquendo try to pass under the screen. Again, on Knueppel, you have to trail him. You cannot allow him, especially the guy that's got a nice little rhythm shooting the three.
9 3-pointers in the game for the Blue Devils. 27 of their 62 from downtown.
Knueppel says, hey, if you pass down, I'm going to make you pay. Duke extending that lead up 17 behind Knueppel. Hilton for the state. And all you need to know about Cooper Flagg is this guy does a little bit of everything. A little bit of the handle, a little bit of the hustle, and then if anything, he tries to be a playmaker. When all else fails, he says, you know what? Give it to me, I'll give you a bucket. And he basically says, hey, I'm trying to do my best, but hey, I gotta give you this work. And you look at today, basically 7th game with 20 points this season, 24 points, efficient 7 for 12, perfect from the arc, behind the arc, and oh yeah, grabbed about 9 rebounds while he was at it.
He is 1 rebound away from his 5th double-double of the season and his 4th 20-point double-double. His season-high points in a game came in the loss to Kentucky, 26. By the way, Kentucky, a wild one today over the Florida Gators, 106-100. That's an NBA score. Boopie Miller, pretty slick move right there.
And nice run. It was able to turn the corner that last time, getting the best of the defender and then getting downhill. Need a little bit more of that.
15-point game. And Knueppel again for 3 and off the iron, and the rebound to the Mustangs with work to do. What's nice. A good jab move there.
Yeah, 2 in a row by Boopie Miller. I love the fact that he realized he can get a little bit of separation. SMU doing a good job getting some stops to see if that can ignite a run for him.
Miller now with 15. Only Flagg has scored more than Miller in this game. Oh boy. SMU did not like that call.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. You saw James probe a little bit. Yigatula was there. Watch James on his penetration. On the backhand, yeah, you saw Yigatula with his arm caught in the cookie jar.
3rd. He has 9 points and 10 rebounds. And James to the free throw line. Nothing but net. Sion James out of Sugar Hill, Georgia. You know who that is? Sugar Hill, you're a Georgia guy.
Yeah, I hang around Atlanta. I can't even lie to you. I know where Sugar Hill is. I'm going to guess that maybe it's north.
Okay. He's a transfer from Tulane. Moved into the starting lineup against Auburn. And then went for a double-double against Virginia Tech in their win 3 nights ago. Hit them both, he'll go to the bench. Our producer, Scott Snyder, tried to get me to say it's somewhere near, what was that again?
Sweet and Low Village.
Yeah, Sugar Hill near Sweet and Low Village.
I told him he was going to get me killed by my 15-year-old. She heard me announce that one.
Well, she's playing today, right?
She is.
Oquendo dumps it off. Shot clock at 7. Cross is trying to force something, and the shot clock will run out.
Oh, wow, what a bailout.
Oh, it almost ran out, and then a foul.
Well, Colbert was able to get that ball with 0.4 seconds left to go. Just throws it up, and then Malawatch was there. Watch the defensive possession by Duke. That last time, Matt Cross trying to get one up. And then Colbert comes over, and then Malawatch right there. You just got to stay straight up. Give Colbert an opportunity to go to the line for 2. Talk about a bailout.
Colbert is 3 of 4 from the line.
I think that if you're Andy Enberg in Edfield and you go back and look at this game and miss opportunities, one of the things that you're basically going to be upset is the free throw and the ones that you left, the points that you left on the table.
8 of 17 from the free throw line.
And here's the thing, is that, you know, you got a little bit more than 10 minutes. SMU is still very much in this game. Pace has picked up a little bit more in their favor. They've been able to get some stops. But you got to be able to get some easy stops and limit the easy buckets. You see Foster get right down the lane for an easy one.
Well, they'd really like to see him get going. After missing all that time, last year with the ankle injury. Was in the starting lineup early this year and was not playing as well as they had hoped, as he would hope. And so they made the lineup change and put in James for Foster. Here's Flagg back in the game. Proctor. Oh, man.
That's tough. Break the paint by Cooper Flagg and get it over to Proctor. And again, he's had a good afternoon as well shooting the ball.
10 3-pointers in this game for the 4th-ranked Blue Devils. And the lead, the largest of the night, 19. No John Shire here, no problem for Chris Carrawell and company.
Man, Cooper Flagg, a name when we talk about what he does for this team. He leads this team in assists, and then watch him be able to get in, break the paint, force the help, pass it over for a better shot. And you see Proctor's able to knock it down. That's one of the things about this Duke team is they play very unselfish basketball. You see Chris Carrawell over there animated, trying to encourage the Blue
They are Blue Devils.
Yes, to be able to finish.
What's that rivalry coming out in you? The Yellow Jackets rivalry. Carrawell was a grad assistant under Coach Krzyzewski and wound up going with Steve Wojciechowski to Marquette. Spent 6 years there as an assistant. Jai Lucas, the associate head coach, the son of John. Of course, John has done so much for those in needing to recover from addiction for a long, long time, and he was one of them. Man, what a player he was at Maryland for Lefty Drizel. There's a turnover for SMU. Flagg to Gillis.
Oh my! What a finish! Flagg over to Gillis.
21-point lead. Oquendo short on the 3, and another rebound for the Blue Devils. We're under 9 minutes to play here in Dallas. A little fancy there by Proctor, looking for the alley-oop. And SMU coming the other way.
You see Duke get out in transition, and Cooper Flagg, normally he's on the front end of it. And how about Gillis comes up with the finish at the rim? And again, when they're out and about, all you can do is pray and try to get back. Gillis goes to the upper room to be able to finish that one. And you say, you know what? Don't jump. Business decision.
Gillis was a 3-year starter at Purdue until last year. He played in 132 games for the Boilermakers. And, of course, they played in a lot of big games with a big fella, Zach Edey.
You see Gillis in that last finish for Duke. They have been able to extend this lead up to 20. They're shooting 73% from the field in this second half. We talked about Zach Edey, and he's having a pretty good run with the Memphis Grizzlies. He's been better than a lot of scouts that have projected him to be.
I got to tell you, I mean, I was stunned by that. I don't know if you were, Brian. I mean, you played in the NBA, and I was just stunned at how many people thought this guy couldn't come into the league and be one of those guys. Whether he started or whether he turned into a star was a totally different game. But Tom, playing a league forever.
Tom, I thought the same, because, again, when you look at a guy at his height and with his skill set and how fundamentally sound he was. But today's NBA, a lot of it is, the analytics, you know, and it's a 4-out, you don't have a lot of guys that are posting up. And I think that there was some question about his athleticism, but he's shown that he has hit the NBA by storm.
He was such a phenomenal, 2-time National Player of the Year. Way out there, and no good by Oquendo. And the Blue Devils with the ball, 8 minutes to go. Flagg having a few words over there. Thought he was tripped.
Let me help you out here, Tom. You know how you shoot 73% from behind for a free field goal? It's about shots like that.
You got
finishing at the rim. Save when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. And all afternoon, it's been the Cooper Flagg Show. Talked about him coming into the open, how aggressive he is at the rim. He has had an off afternoon of being able to score inside, outside. 24 points, 7 for 12. Perfect from behind the line, and oh yeah, double-double, finishing up with 10 rebounds. And Tom, he has been amazing to watch. Talking about phenomenal as he's been able to lead this Duke Blue Devil team all afternoon long.
You know, he had a few words here. He got tangled up a moment ago with Chuck Harris. And the two had to be restrained from one another. I didn't think Harris was doing anything to try and trip Flagg. Here's Knueppel, and no good. 71-51, 7:43 to go. SMU without a field goal the last 3.5 minutes. And there's some of that length we were talking about. You know, you got Miller 6 feet being guarded by the 6'9" Flagg. And his season high, we talked about him delivering the goods in the big games. These are his 4 games where he went double-double, 20-point double-doubles. His season high in points came in the loss against Kentucky. 26, he's 2 away from that now.
I think what we've seen is the level of efficiency that he's played with. You see Yigatulu with the putback, couldn't get it. But when you watch a guy that's a phenom and is a star that he is, love the fact that he's gritty, he's grimy, he's going to hit the floor, he's going to do the dirty work, and it's well balanced. And now, like I said, when you look at this Duke team at 4th in the country, they have shown you that with their defense, they can be a team that can make a run later on in March.
I mean, only, what, 3 teams all year long have hit the 70-point mark against Duke. And that's Auburn, Kansas, and Kentucky. 3 pretty good teams.
And then those are teams that you say that in March could possibly be Final Four teams. And I think John Shire would say that earlier in the season, losses to Kansas and then even Kentucky, they weren't the defensively sound team that they are right now, because when you watch them, they do a heck of a job of being able to lock down the paint. And we talked about that athleticism and the length that they have.
Yigatolu hits 1 of 2. He's had a nice game. 10 points, 12 rebounds. First time he's been in a big-time matchup against a top 10 team. Freshman from Turkey. And there's the alley-oop.
Good penetration by Knueppel. He realized that he drags 2 off players. And for Malawach, you just throw it anywhere near the cylinder, he's going to be able to catch it and finish it.
Boy, no kid.
Oh!
In your face! You talk about a poster.
He said, hey, Happy New Year! Whoa! Got to see that one again.
My goodness. Caleb Foster, beautiful move to the basket, lays it in and gets dropped to the deck. He'll go to the line. He's had a good game.
Watch this last play by Knueppel. Pulls Yigatulu, and he realizes the big man just threw it up in the center. But then for SMU, Aquendo was like, coming live down memory lane for you. Happy New Year. Oh my God, good finish. Love that one.
Foster came in only averaging 7 points per game. He has 9. And now trying to make it 10 and complete the 3-point play, which he does not. 75-54, 6.5 to go. Yigatolu goes to the bench. Or no, he has 4. He's staying in the game. And they're just firing now. And Andy Enfield saying, get back.
Foster's coming into the game this afternoon and giving Duke some really valuable minutes in his ability not only to run the show, but take advantage of hitting the paint and then finishing at the rim.
Foster, a top 3 player coming out of the state of California, and wound up working himself into the lineup last year, but then had the devastating ankle injury, missed the rest of the season. was back in the lineup to start this year, but then 7 games ago was replaced by James. Little forearm shiver there on Flagg. And Knueppel trying to go with the left hand and lays it in. He'll go to the line.
And that's another guy that we've talked about, again, Knueppel in the afternoon, that he's having gritty players. Knocking down the 3. Watch him be able to understand he's got Edwards there. He's going to get in there and then be strong, finishing with the offhand. And Flagg comes over to celebrate. Knueppel again is one of those guys, doesn't get the attention of a Cooper Flagg, but definitely part of that #1 recruiting class. He's had a great afternoon.
Well, he averages 12 a game. He averages 4 rebounds a game. His assist to turnover ratio is almost 4-to-1. Apparently the clock never stopped, and that might be okay actually for Coach Enfield right now. Down 23. Reset the clock, 5:41. Knueppel the 3-point play.
And Knueppel gives you a guy that can run the point. They put him a lot of ball screens. You see, you can give him the ball too. You can put it on the deck and go get you a bucket too.
Knueppel has 14 for the Blue Devils. Oquendo. He's just been off here today with that 3-point shot because normally he's a pretty good shooter from out there.
And what it is that Duke is basically running those guys off the line, and they're not allowing them to have easy contested shots. They're locking down the paint in there. High closeouts on the 3.
Well, this is such an extraordinarily talented, yes, very young, but talented Duke team. Flagg walk. And I mean, they are without a doubt by far and away the elite team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. A lot of years you don't say that all the time. They're one of the top 2 or 3.
Absolutely, because, you know, you look at their offensive and defensive efficiency, again, one of the things we talked about with not having John Shire is that defense taking over. My question, too, when you look at just under 5 minutes, if you're Chris Carrawell, how long do you keep Cooper Flagg in the game, understanding that you're up by 23?
Wake Forest will be ranked sometime soon. Try the alley-oop, not there. And Flagg leads the charge the other way. Well, that looked clean. It was.
That was clean. Good defense by Boopie Miller, being able to get his hand on the ball. Tyrese Proctor tried to get to the bucket. Watch this play again. See, Proctor gets a little bit of a momentum there. Boopie Miller gets his hand in there, ties that ball up. He got a little forearm action too, but tie-up ends up being Duke's ball.
Miller's a nice player. Top playmaker in the ACC so far this year. They try to dump it down low. Look at that wingspan. That's 7 feet 5 inches on that wingspan. And his reach-up ability is 9'8". He can almost dunk flat-footed. Proctor a 3.
And Proctor's had another guy that got Duke going in the first half. And this Duke team, and they're loaded because they've got a lot of different weapons that can give you buckets. Nice kick out back to Boopie Miller.
Miller's competed out here with these guys today.
And here's the thing, is that when you look at less than 4 minutes left to go, I mean, obviously it looks like Duke is going to go in and go to 4-0 in the ACC, but this SMU team, they have shown flashes of being able to hang in there. They're still going to be a formidable team in this ACC. As you see another lob by Knueppel to Malawach at the rim.
Malawach with 8. And we are under 3.5 to go. Here's Cross, short, and batted back out of there by Gorner. Boopie for 3.
This SMU team is going to compete into the end.
These two teams will not play again this year, if you're wondering. 83-60 Blue Devils. Flagg still sitting on 24, too shy of his career high, but he's getting his buddies in on the action now.
South Chris Carrawell filling in for Coach John Shire, not being able to make the trip. But then it was no problem because the Duke Blue Devils, it was hot behind the arc, knocking down the three. 11 for 24 from behind the arc, and they basically doing their thing. And then the guy that basically got it done for them all afternoon, Cooper Flagg, 24 points, 11 rebounds. And again, Tom, this Duke team is better than what we thought they were on display. Came in and had command of this game from beginning to end.
You know, the other thing they do, and we talked about it earlier, is they get everybody involved and they'll give it up if a teammate has a better shot. They had 20 assists in a game 3 days ago against Georgia Tech. They have 21 assists today.
And how many times do you watch good teams and you see that they play well and they pass off and they play for one another? This is a team that plays the right way. Their defense, they've got guys that can score. And again, you pass up good shot for better shots.
Yeah, their last 3 games, they've gone for 20, 19, and 21 assists. 250 away from their 8th straight win, and this will end a 7-game winning streak for SMU. First time we've seen Darren Harris, another highly decorated freshman, was a Virginia High School Player of the Year when he led St. Paul Catholic to the state championship. Gorner, another foreign player for SMU. He is from Turkey, and it's out of bounds with 2:27 left to go. Cross a rebound on the James missed 3. Miller has had a nice game today. 21 points, tries to throw the alley-oop to Ambrose Hilton, and a foul underneath.
SMU's had a tough afternoon, and then after this, they play a North Carolina team that's been up and down as well.
Well, that's a hard team to figure, man, North Carolina. I mean, we had their game a couple weeks ago, and you know, just for comparing, I'm not comparing Duke and North Carolina. We know the rivalry, just an observation, right? We go to the practice the other day, and there you see it will be the Tar Heels next for the Mustangs, and then they come back home. Then a couple of tough road games. Virginia at Miami, and then back here against a Louisville team. Pat Kelsey's done a nice job with that Cardinals team.
And they have. It's talking about North Carolina, you know, Louisville gets a win against them, and I've always found it hard is that when I've got to go on the road to play against a team that's not meeting expectations, you see an up and under finish by James. It's hard because for this SMU team to have to go and play Carolina when Carolina understands that that's one that they're going to need, it's going to be a tough game for them, especially on the road in Chapel Hill.
There's Gorner. Nice touch. No, but just, you know, sitting there watching Duke warm up as you look at this from James.
You see James come there, a little contact there, be able to finish. Acrobatic, and again, we talk about the weapons that Duke has. Sion James, again, is a guy that plays within himself, and he can do a lot of different things. He's a guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet for you.
Well, you have the double-double against Virginia Tech. 10 points and 11 rebounds. But when you watch Duke just warm up, it seems like 70% of the three-pointers are going in. We saw North Carolina in practice and then in their pregame warm-up in their game against St. Joseph's a couple weeks ago. And I bet you 25% of the three-pointers just in warm-ups didn't go in. And they've had a hard time shooting the basketball this year.
They have. And one of the things that I know that you need in order to win in this league and in probably any other league, you got to have great point guard play, and you got to be able to knock down shots. And you see the penetration of Traore not being able to finish it.
Pretty nice move right there, but it doesn't go down for a Gungba. And then the tap in is good as
some of the backups on this Duke team are getting in the action. Ambrose Hilton is off the mark on his three, and we're down to the final 35 seconds. Brian, I want to thank you here today, buddy. You have done yeoman's work. You didn't come here showing up today to have a play-by-play guy that only do half his job today. So I apologize, and I thank you, and good Lord willing, a little bit different ball game next weekend.
That's okay. I'll get it back from you next weekend when we're in Miami.
All right, that's a deal. That's right. Well, I look forward to it and really enjoyed being with you. Our director, of course, is Lonnie Dale, and our producer, Scott Snyder. We thank our entire crew as we're under 10 seconds left to go. Chris Carrowell filling in for John Shire, and I'm sure the first phone call that Carrowell will get after this game will be from Coach back in Durham.
And you and I talked about that in the open about how much would change, and it seemed like they were able to stick to the game plan. And when you've got a defensive team, one of the things you hang your hat on in the game is the defense. And I thought that that's what Duke did earlier on to get going. It did help with they were able to knock down some threes. And then again, the phenom that is Cooper Flagg, it wasn't just him. It was a lot of them knocking down the threes, 11 for 25 for the afternoon.
Of course, Carrowell no different than everybody else that sits on the bench from all these college basketball teams, Brian. He'd like to be a head coach of his own program one day.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, good for him. And that's going to do it. The Duke Blue Devils make it 8 consecutive wins and still remain unbeaten. The 7-game win streak comes to an end for SMU.